People are just fed up. People are tired of trying to fit in. People want to just live for them now. They forgot who they are. And a lot of people have lost themselves trying to fit into this society. So as time goes on, they're starting to realize that maybe they're just different. And it's okay to be different. Because when you're the same and you're doing what you was told, you start to live your life, you start to see that the math is not mathing. It don't add up. So now people are trying to get their happiness back. And I like what I'm seeing because you've been living for somebody else for so long and you've been trying to keep up with the Joneses, you lost yourself. So now you're starting to realize that your happiness matters. So I'm proud of y'all because y'all starting to be aware of who you are. You starting to notice that maybe you have to go against the grain. Maybe you just don't fit in. And that's all right because we all was created differently. We ain't trying to keep up with the next person no more. We're not trying to do that because we're trying to get it right. And in reality, we're starting to do what's best for us. You get something new in your life, you want to tell everybody else about it. And then once you tell everybody else about what you want to do or the things that you got that's new in your life, people are just not happy for you. So you're tired of just dealing with that. You just wanted change. And this is the change that you've been looking for your whole life. And I'm proud that you're starting to witness that change because you're starting to feel better. You even starting to wake up better because at first you couldn't even wake up how you want to wake up. You never was in the mood. Now you're in the mood because you're starting to love yourself. So you're not being brainwashed anymore by the system because the system was just designed for you to be a part of it. Now you're starting to declare your independence. And that's the push that you always needed your whole life. You starting to push yourself. Because in reality, you're tired of living for society. You're tired of society trying to motivate you. You're tired of society trying to cheer you up. And in reality, it's just bringing you down. Because you didn't know how to cheer yourself up. You was waiting for others trying to cheer you up. So now since you're learning how to live for yourself and not for others, you're starting to prosper in life. So what I want to say to you again is that I'm proud of you because you're not being fed those brainwashing lies about you had to have the next best thing. You're not consuming anything anymore. You're buying what you want to buy. You're not buying what people tell you to buy. You're buying things for you. You're cutting costs on spending things with your money. You're starting to be smart with your money now. You're not buying foolish things no more. You're starting to save your money. And that's what it's all about because you have the freedom. You have the power. And a lot of us, we forgot that. We feel like we couldn't be who we want to be. Now, since you can be who you want to be, you being the best that you can be. And that's all I wanted to say. That's what it's all about. Now it's time for you to be you. You've been waiting so long to be you, but you couldn't find out and you couldn't figure it out how to be you. And a lot of people couldn't figure that out. Now people are just waking up. They're starting to be them. They're starting to get up. They're starting to do better. They're starting to live better. They're starting to even smile because they used to be so upset, so afraid, so sad, and being brainwashed by society. Because everybody always was telling them they're supposed to fit in and do this and do that. But in reality, they're starting to have the courage that they never thought they had. They're starting to be what they want to be. Because they're starting to realize that they just don't fit in. And that's not a bad thing. Who told you it was a bad thing? Society told you it was a bad thing. Society told you that you was weird. Society told you that you wasn't normal. But what is considered normal? Ask yourself that. What's considered normal? Because you like to be different? You like to do you? You don't want to consume everything in this world? You don't believe the lies that they told you? You starting to go against the grain? You starting to declare your independence like you always should have? I don't see nothing wrong with that. So, what I want to say is that you're starting to make a change. You're starting to just live for you. And that's what it really was all about. Now you're starting to figure it out. And I know you're a little late on this, but you may be in your 30s, you may be in your 40s, you may be in your 50s. But it's all good because now you're starting to find yourself, and better late than never. Because it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. Y'all getting y'all lives back. And you know how hard it is to get your life back after you've been told this and that for so long? And now you're starting to go against the grain? And you're starting to realize you just don't fit in. And you're starting to take the situations for what it is. That's why you're starting to prosper. You're not moping about what could be, what it couldn't be, because you're realizing who you are. Once you start realizing who you are, and you trying to show up and be a better person for you, because you're realizing that you don't fit in, that's why you can't be stopped. That's why you can't be stopped. Who gonna stop you? You. And a lot of people forgot that. Because, as I was saying earlier, we was always told that we couldn't be who we wanted to be. But why not? You're tired of listening to them telling you what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to work at, what you're supposed to be. You woken up. Because you're starting to live your life and you're starting to experience life. And you're starting to look at life like, this don't make no sense. I got to do something different. And I want you to continue to do something different. I want you to continue to work on yourself. And I want you to continue to not listen to what society tells you, the norm. You tired of the society norm. You don't follow trends. You do what you want to do. When they go right, you go left. That's how you always been. But you was always considered weird for it because you wasn't following what everybody else wanted to do. You make your own rules. You your own boss in your own life. And that's how it's supposed to go. So in reality, you don't have to change. But you making change because you doing you. And that's what really it was all about. Because you're not living for nobody else no more. You're living for you. I know you like the sound of that. Because I like the sound of that. Because in reality, people needed that change for a long time. That's what people needed in their life. They're starting to do their research because they're starting to figure it out like, this can't be life. This don't make any sense. I know I don't fit in. But the reason why I really don't fit in and I'm going against society norm is because I'm special. Always remember that you're special. Keep your confidence up. Even if you fail today, even if you fail tomorrow, you're going to know how to get up and try again because you're not normal. You don't want to be kept down like the rest of society. You don't, because you're figuring it out. And that's what it's all about. You figuring it out. You making smarter decisions. You're not becoming a victim and a product of consumerism. You're going against that. You're against that. And this is what I like. And people are just waking up and people are starting to stick together. So, as long as we stick together and as long as we know that we make the rules, who gonna stop y'all? How can y'all be stopped? Us as the people. How can you be stopped? And you were so great, you didn't even know it. You didn't even realize how great you were. Now you're starting to realize. And that's what it's all about. Just think about it. You've been living for your parents for so long. Your parents been trying to regulate your life. And as you get grown, they still give you these crazy decisions what to do. You don't want to listen to that no more because you're tired of anybody that's telling you something and regardless because you want to live for you now. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And your parents got to understand that. You're starting to make your own rules. You're not worried about what your dad going to say, what your mother going to say, even as a grown person. Because you're changing. You're starting to just go out there and figure it out. You're starting to just leap. So I'm proud of y'all for taking that leap because y'all want to try something different. Ain't nothing wrong with trying nothing different. I'm going to tell you like it is. Do you. Go out there and do it. Execute it. So stop saying you want to do it and never do it. Go out there and execute it because you're special. Like I told you previously, you're very special because you don't fit in. And that's good. And you know why you don't fit in? Because you stand out. Ain't nothing wrong with standing out. But you got to learn how to utilize the tools that you have in your mind and educate yourself. You heard me? So that's what you need to do in life. Because that gives you all the power in the world. The power that you need. Who thought you would have power like that? Nobody thought you would have power like that. Because you was always going with the crew. You was always trying to run with the crew. You was going right with the people. Now it's time for you to go left. Now they're looking at you like, what is you doing? You not fitting in? You not normal? And so what? You're not normal. So what? You don't like what everybody else likes. So what? Your favorite food is different. So what? But you're you. And now you're starting to just see for yourself. You don't want to be a part of the system where you have to retire when you're 65. You're tired of being programmed. You still have to follow rules, but you're tired of being programmed to the point where you can't even think at night. You're tired of that. You're starting to make your own way. You're starting to create your own path. You all are starting to create your own path. And I'm liking what I'm seeing. Because like I always tell y'all, the power is in you. You have the power. You have the power to change that. And you're changing that because you're realizing you do not fit in. And that's a wonderful feeling. And us as the people, y'all all are special. And y'all just not realizing that. So that's what I want to tell y'all. Because the system is designed for you to be a part of it. Declare your independence. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace.